Oh
So,
my
so
gosh.
glad.
Well, thank you for
Glad, yeah.
inviting me. I'm thrilled to be here, and as you can see, this is my casual self, and yeah, I'd like to think that this is Hawaii or the Bahamas or something, but it's really only my green screen.
Well, aloha to you. And since my daughter lives in Kailua Kona, aloha, Jenny, I hope you're up.
Yes, aloha to everybody. Yes, and or am I supposed to? Is it this? It's this one, right? It's this, while we were there. We were in Hawaii, and everybody was doing this to me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so much better from where I come from, New York." It's other fingers that they use, and so no, I like this one.
I've traveled the world, Vincent. You got to be careful which fingers you use where, is
Absolutely,
kind of what I discovered, that you think you're
yes,
safe and you're
that's
not.
right. That's right. Oh yeah, because my oh my gosh. Oh yeah, because now this is great. Now this in Italian, oh my gosh, it's my grandmother and my grandfather and my uncle used to do that to everybody. I was like, oh boy, forget that. Oh yeah, so hang 10, everybody, yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, how did you get into this? What happened? I love this story. Please share it with people.
Oh, it's a completely different story. It didn't, I was not aware of any of these abilities when I was a child. Actually, I was an arrogant little kid. At least that's what all my adult relatives told me. They used to call me the little professor because even as a little tyke, I used to hang around all the adults and I would interject all these answers and things that I wanted to say to them. And even though it was cute, because I was small, they couldn't stand the fact that I was giving these adult answers to these adult questions as a little kid, right? So my mother would smack me the side of my head, and my uncle would say, "Oh, the little professor, it's only the little professor." That's all I knew back then, and it really didn't get me anywhere. It was no angel at the foot of my bed. There was, no spirit coming to me from the heavens and letting me know that I had these gifts. It actually wasn't until I was 28 years old. I actually had a very rough childhood and very abused childhood until I was 17 years old. I mean, my peers in school, and everybody has heard this story before, how they used to beat me up all the time and just physically abuse me, emotionally abuse me. I had such physical issues because of that. I had early IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, before it was even known to be a disorder. And so, mom was taking me to the doctor all the time because of the anxiety. But it was no safer for me at home either, because I was getting abused there by mom and dad. Mom had been sexually molested when she was a child, so she had a lot of mental pathologies. So that was all going through my life. But what happened at 28 years old, I was a professional singer, actor, and dancer since I was a little kid. That was my talent and my resilience. That actually is what got me through those torments, because at least I had something. When I heard people applauding for me, that kept me alive, that kept me going at least. So I wound up getting into the movie Grease with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. I was a singer, actor, and dancer in that movie, right? So small town guy from Levittown, Long Island, makes it big. And believe me, it wasn't big. I had no major part at all. But to them, I was the star. And Grease, as we know, as soon as it was released, became an overnight sensation. Within a couple of years of that movie was my 10-year high school reunion, my first reunion. And now I'm already married a few years. I was married at 23 years old, okay? And we already had a child, and he was great. And we had just moved back. No, I'm sorry. We hadn't moved back to New York yet. We were still living in California where I was doing my work. But we came back to New York. I was going to go to that reunion. And I had a giant chip right here. It was about here, and it extended about 20 feet long. It wasn't a chip. It was more like a boulder and a big piece of wood block. But I was going anyway with the attitude, okay, there were stories written about me in the local newspapers about being in the movie. They premiered it there. I had a big party. These celebrities, that happened to be performing there at the same time, they brought us together, and all of this wonderful stuff was going on just prior to that reunion. So I was going to it. I was going to show all of these kids who used to pick on me that I made it. I did something with my life, right? Well, I walked in there with the expectation that they would still be, looking at me and judging me negatively, and the reverse happened. I mean, Loretta, it was like a Cinderella story. I walked in and everybody screamed my name because they didn't think I was coming. All the girls came up to me. Now, I had a class of 350, and most of them were there for the 10-year reunion. So it's over 300 people, and everybody is yelling and shouting, Vinny, oh my God, she's here. And the girls sat at my table all night long. But the one kid, the super clown and super jock of the school, who caused most of my antagonism, he would just say my name. He would say it like this, Loretta, every day in school. The moment he would go, Vinny, that was everybody else's cue to pick on me. So whether it be in the middle of a class, they would shoot spitballs at me, throw books at me, hit me, knock my desk over. And this was in front of the teachers, right? Bullying for the longest time. It's only to recent days that they even care about bullying because the damage that it causes. So completely bullied. The jocks would bully me. Well, this guy is at the reunion, and from across the hall, we're in this big, beautiful catering hall in New York. He screams my name again, just like that. And the entire hall freezes because they're like, oh my gosh, is he doing the same thing? They didn't know how to take it. He runs across the hall. He grabs me in a bear hug, and he wouldn't let me go. He wouldn't let me go. It still chokes me up when I remember it. Sorry. All I remember is the feeling extending from him to my heart. Never did we say words of I'm sorry or I forgive you, because it wasn't necessary, Loretta. It was the craziest thing. He just embraced me, and from that moment on, he became my champion. He sat at our table. He was bringing over all the jocks, saying, you got to see Vinny, he's hysterical. I was kind of my own class clown. I always did humorous things, and I was a funny guy. I try to be anyway, as life is too serious, right? And so I was making them laugh and telling them stories of Hollywood and making them laugh. And so we went out afterwards, after the affair. We spent the whole night, all the group of people and my wife. And so he became endeared to me, right? This was my enemy, and he became endeared to me. But the problem was something inside of me was telling me something odd about this guy and his life. He was the one who rented the Porsche to impress everybody for the first 10-year reunion. And so we became close. We finally moved back to New York. So we wound up becoming close, seeing each other all the time. And one day we were spending time with him, a weekend at his condo in Connecticut, a very wealthy condo. And all I kept hearing when he was bragging about his job, his wife, his children, his health, all I kept hearing was BS. BS, something's wrong. And so much so that the minute we left there the next day and we're driving home, I was in tears in the car. And my wife is like, what is wrong? And I'm saying, something is wrong with him. I know something's going on in his life, something terrible. His life is falling apart. I know it, but I don't know what to do to help him. I don't have any ability. And she said, he's living in a condo. He's living better than us. What are you talking about? I said, no, that's not true. I know that something is wrong. And that's when, for the first time in my life, I turned to God. Even though I was an altar boy in the past, the only way I turned to God in the past is by eating the host in the back, those little wafers that they give out at church. I was eating them and drinking. So Jesus and I had a great relationship. I was drinking his blood and eating his body the entire time, right? That was as deep as we got, other than arguments I had with them at 13 years old with the priests. I used to argue with them that they were teaching God and Jesus wrong. Okay. That would definitely get me some beatings at home because I was cursing my family to hell. So here I cry out to God, Loretta. God, you've got to give me the ability to help this man. You've got to give me something. Somehow, some way, I want to be able to help him, and I don't know how, and I want to be able to help him. And people like him that go through the same problems help me. Now, all I cared about was being a professional actor. I wasn't asking for a new profession, Loretta. All I wanted in my entire life was a Tony, an Oscar, and an Emmy. That's all I cared about. But then in that moment, I wanted something to be able to help him with. Well, within a week, boom, Steven Spielberg and those who are old enough, Cecil B. DeMille, they could never have created as epic of a story and a movie that happened in my life within those weeks and 3 months afterwards. And I'm talking paranormal stuff and the metaphysical stuff and seeing dead people and hearing voices and all this knowledge and wisdom entering my body that I've never heard before. My wife not knowing whether to get me locked up, call the parish priest for an exorcism, or call her rabbi friend to bless me in some way. But she believed in me. She was with me since I was 17 years old and knew that I didn't know any of those things. And that's how it began to happen. So my worst enemy became the catalyst for all of this incredible stuff and the work that I do now. It's because of him that this all happened. And so that was, believe it or not, that was the Reader's Digest condensed version of Bridge. You should hear it when I really tell the story.
It's making me cry. My empath thing is up.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Yeah, but you know what? This is what I tell people. I don't. There's so many intense stories out there, especially today. It's all coming to the surface again, which is what we'll probably be talking about.
Yes.
But people have to understand that no matter how terrible your story sounds, that's chapter 1. That's the beginning of the book you get to write, the novel of your life you get to write. And now I look back on that chapter, and believe it or not, I can honestly say I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't, because I am so thrilled with who I am today. Now, I did a lot of work to get here and to still work through the issues. And I still work with little Vinny, who's still scarred, and he wants to pop up and tell me I'm not good enough. But I'm thrilled with who I am. And so I was able to use my story, and that's why I share it, because I want people to know that they can use their story too. Well, some have even worse than me, right?
Yeah. And there's something so powerful. Like I said, it's making me cry. So be with me. Yeah. But when we go through that, we can only take people to where we've been. Vinny, that's the truth. So you as a soul, this is Loretta's little thing. You said, I'm going to go through this thing, and then poof, I'm going to come out the other side, and I'm going to help people. And man, you got a big heart. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And that's not always the outcome, unfortunately. We always do set that up. So yes, there are people, like I said, who've been through worse than me, who've been through less than me. And you always have a choice. Could I have become one of the Menendez brothers and killed my parents? Absolutely. Could I have been one that went and took that machine gun into the school and started shooting up all the kids who were bullying me? I'm talking the entire school mostly bullied me. The only people who didn't were the drama department and the music department, because I was involved in theater and they're not like that. They weren't bullying me. But I could have made that choice. But yes, was it laid there before me? Something within me, my own resilience, my own heart wanting I wanted the outcome to be good, I guess, made me go in that other direction. And I'm sure I had, and I know I'm not taking anything away from divine guidance, I'm sure I had God's hands on my shoulder the entire time. But its hands are on everybody's shoulders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have the option of going this way or going that way. And I'm glad and very blessed for myself that I chose this way. Yeah. I chose to listen to the guidance, and everybody has that chance. right?
Well, and yes, and everybody has that guidance and everybody has that free will choice. And boy, when we engage it, like you say, it's magic, miracles happen. And I
Right.
sometimes I sometimes just stand there going, ah, I don't know what's going on. I'm just holding the space. I
Hold the
don't
space.
know.
But even in the work that you do, look at the guidance that you give. You go one extra step, the planetary guidance and the blueprint, and everybody even has a choice to listen to that. It's just like, but it's so helpful because we are not alone and we're not doing it blindly here. Oh, it looks like we are, and there's a lot of blindness out there. But there is always light. There's always answers. It's a matter of stopping and wanting to make a change, wanting to make that change, and wanting to look and listen for the guidance.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it's exactly right. We have people already queuing up
Wow.
for little mini readings. I just want to throw that out there. If you guys want to get in the queue, it's 1-888-298-5569 or 425-373-5527. And Vinny, what do you need from people? Do you just need their name? What do you need? Or nothing?
I'm trying to see what I feel. No, nothing. No, all they have to do is just ask.
Nice.
What I do want, though, is a question.
Okay.
And and this is for everybody who's listening right now. In life, the only way to really get the guidance is by asking the right question. And the reason why I share my story is because I asked the right question. If you really think about it, I asked Spirit to help me, give me something to help him. I didn't say, oh, dear God, please help my friend. He's in such a bad state. I didn't ask that. I asked, help me help him. Apparently, that was the right question. So when you turn around and you get on with me, and so many people do this unless we're in a private reading, and you go, well, tell me what Spirit wants me to know. My answer is going to be, Spirit wants you to know that you are loved.
Thank you. I'm clapping because I say the same thing all the time, and people are always saying, Loretta, what do the guides want me to do? What do they have to say? And I'm always like, they're saying they love you.
Right.
You're doing
They
a good
don't say
job.
that.
Keep going.
Right.
You know.
But if you want an answer, if you want a mini reading at all, ask the most important question you can come up with. Okay, because then you're guiding the energy and the answer and not just getting a generalized answer.
That's right.
Okay, so you will get your loved, but you can get something deeper than that. So that's the only thing that I ask of the callers.
And Benny, I just want to ask, do we need to take a station break, or shall we just go into?
That is up to you, darling. It's your show. I
thank
will
you.
follow your lead.
Woo!
Is that the voice of God?
It is. There's more than one.
That's right. And I love Benny and Vinny. That's so familiar.
Hey!
You know?
It does. I know. And then there's Loretta, you know.
And
that's
Loretta,
what it is.
Loretta, do you remember Loretta Young? Are you even old enough?
I was named after Loretta Young.
So that's a
the
yes.
Seventh of
You
eight
see, do you
children.
understand? That's why I'm a psychic. Okay, I
Yes.
knew that. I loved Loretta Young, and she's so beautiful, and that's why you fit the name so perfectly.
Well, and you know, just little segues about Loretta. Yeah, I was named after her because they ran out of names. I was supposed to be George Jr., and I came in as a girl, threw him off. And my dad saw an article about Loretta Young and said, Loretta's a pretty name. We'll name her Loretta. So when I was a little girl, I insisted on wearing twirly dresses because, you know, she'd come down the stairway and...
Yes. It's just elegant. And that just like you, that's so funny. And it's so funny that I just came up with that. Remember Loretta Young? Yes.
Yeah,
you're
you're tuned in and turned on. Betty, let's take a little station break. And then when we come back, we are going to we're going to do mini readings with Vincent Genna, the most amazing man, really. He's the real deal, in case you hadn't figured that out. And the numbers, I'll say them really, really quick. 1-888-298-5569 or 425-373-5527. Call and get in the queue now because we got people queuing up. We're going to take a little station break. This is Loretta Brown. We'll be right back.
On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all the life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rain.
Did you know that Reiki healing can be done at a distance? It's true. So let Reiki Oasis focus powerful energy to help relieve your stress, grief, sadness, anger, and so much more. Convenient, personalized treatments at a distance can increase lightness of being. During your appointment, find a quiet place to lie down or sit to receive healing energies. If you want help with your dis-ease, visit ReikiOasis.com. Harness life's energy. Visit ReikiOasis.com today.
This message is from the National Council on Aging. Adults over age 60 are at higher risk for the COVID-19 coronavirus because they may have weaker immune systems or chronic health conditions. The Centers for Disease Control recommends older adults avoid crowds and people who are sick. Wash your hands and disinfect surfaces often. Keep a 2-week supply of food and medicine on hand. Learn more at ncoa.org.
Alternative Talk 1150. We're on your radio at 1150 AM. We're on your HD radio at 98.9 Channel 3.
So many ways to listen.
We're on the web at 1150kknw.com, streaming live audio and video as well as MP3 archives of many of our shows.
So many ways to listen.
And now, we're on your smartphone or tablet. Download our free app in the Apple App Store or Google Play and take Alternative Talk 1150 anywhere you go.
So many ways to listen.
Alternative Talk 1150, here to uplift your day.
Coming up next is an encore presentation of the original Loretta Brown show. Loretta decided to take the day off. Until then, we're going to bring to you a show she did last month with Tell It Like It Is and spiritual teacher, psychic therapist, Vincent Genna.
The ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain.
Woo! I love it. You got to have a lot of dance breaks and music breaks. And you know, Vincent, I'm a professional musician as well as you. So,
wow.
There we
Are we
go.
going to be able to do a duet together?
Oh, I don't know. We could. You know, I mean, I'm a loud. You see the sound of my voice. I'm that girl, right? So
Fabulous.
anyway, let's bring some people on. And by the way, let me reintroduce myself. I am Loretta Brown. I'm the owner of a Reiki Oasis. Man, I feel like I'm doing something else, Vincent. Maybe you can come through with that for me. But I am the owner of Reiki Oasis, located right here in the greater Seattle area for the last 26 years. And boy, we are helping a lot of people, especially with your emotional state and your energy state. And you can just make an appointment online with me at schedule.reikioasis.com. And then my guest today, the amazing, internationally well-known psychic, medium, psychic therapist, spiritual teacher, Vincent Genna.
Oh,
And
go on, Loretta.
True soul brother. You're in my
No, go
heart.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Go on.
Going.
No,
Keep it
go-
going.
Keep going, yeah.
And he's
Benny,
got
you could
beautiful,
throw in some things too.
beautiful golden lion energy, which I don't know what that's about, but you definitely have that going on.
Honor, truly, I joke a lot, okay? But I want you to know that you honor and you bless me and you validate my purpose here whenever anybody can see that. Number one, it's because it lies there within inside of you. Otherwise, you would never be able to see it in me. And number two, it at least lets me know that I'm doing the right thing because I want to walk my talk. And if you can feel and see that energy, and this is for everybody else,
Yeah.
they get to feel that about you when you walk that. This isn't my specialness, it's our specialness. So I'm glad I can exemplify that.
All right. Well, I'm going to say one last thing, and then let's get some callers on. I'm going to say something that's going to sound very lofty, but my guides want me to say it. You are anointed to do what you're doing. That's an anointing.
Whoa.
I know.
Okay.
So there it is. And
now I got to live up to that.
I know. But we can have fun and still be anointed. That's
absolutely.
The beauty of
oh
it.
my God. Jesus turned water into wine. He was the essential party animal.
He was like, let's have a party break here.
Absolutely. Good Lord. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Benny,
well,
can you help bring some people on to the show? And then
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's do it. We'll take Laura, who's calling from the Everett area. Hi, Laura. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks for having me on.
Hi, Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hello.
Tell Laura I love her. I think that's the first song that came to me, Laura.
Oh, that sounds good. I think I was named for that song, Laura, actually.
Well, you also need to hear it, because I don't know if that's your question about love and relationship, but it should be, because I was told to sing that just now.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. But what's your question, Laura?
Well, so I just lost my job a couple days ago, and I'm asking for guidance in helping others, and that they could provide me the means while doing that to support my physical needs, like shelter, food, so that I wouldn't have to get another regular full-time job. I am a conscious channel, do readings and teach. I'm in the process of channeling a book and wanting to publish that, and trying to raise funds to help with because I have to self-publish, so trying to get funds for self-publishing. And I feel like it's time. I feel like I am losing my job that I had graduated from what I needed to learn being there. And I'm just wondering if I'm feeling it correctly. Is it time for me to, for that to happen for me?
Okay, you know the answer that I'm getting? Right away I'm getting, why are you even needing to ask that question when everything else is falling in place and you know it?
Yeah.
It's the self-trust right now. When you said I lost my job, the first thing that I heard was good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we need a little push to get ourselves out there, and our souls will do, in conjunction with the universe, will do whatever it needs to get us motivated and moving. So yes, you were in a convenient place and you were making some money, but right now it's not about that. Right now, as you can see, everything is rising to the surface. People need you, and it's the most successful time for you to get started. All you have to do is put yourself out there. Do you already have a website?
I have a website, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
No, not enough. Get a website that makes you professional.
I do have a website.
Okay, is it your name?
No. Well, my name shows up on there, but it's under a business name.
I know, right, yeah. Is there any reason why you would need to use a fictitious name?
Oh, no, I don't mean a fictitious name, but I
like a creative name, yeah, like Heaven on Earth or something like that. Even though it's not that. But it's not your name. You want to brand your name, and you want to get a website with your name, because, and I'll tell you why, and this was always told, and this was told by the president of Hay House in their training for becoming a mover, a shaker, or a writer. Too many people wind up creating websites with these wonderful, beautiful names, right? Spirit Help or whatever, but then they do all these different things, and they have to keep creating all different websites in order for people to find them. Brand your name. That's it. Website with your name. And now underneath that is where you're going to put everything else. I'm a teacher, spiritual teacher. I'm an author. Your book will go under there. Everything will go under there. That's number one. Number two, create a course right now that you can teach online. That is going to bring you some money. So you have to start doing things that you're capable of doing right now. It's not necessarily a great time to have to go out and search for a job anyway, because of the way the circumstances are in the United States or in the world. But online, you can create any job right now, really, especially education and helping people. And we're thriving for helpers. So all I see is you getting online, getting your name out there, getting your website going. You're a healer. If you build it, they will come. That was a Kevin Costner movie, Field of Dreams. And that applies to everything. If you put yourself online and call yourself a healer, they will come. And know that they will. But here's the thing, Laura, be ready. You have to be ready, because the moment you open that door, the floodgates will come in and you will make your money. Right now is the time to establish your business and establish it remotely. Yes, people like to come in person, and you'll be able to create that later on. But let me tell you something. My business has not died down because I can't see people in person. There's Skype, there's Zoom, there's all these different methods, Facebook Live. There's all these different ways of people seeing you, but you want to connect now and start the business now. Start it electronically. Do you get what I mean?
Okay, yes,
And you're going in the right direction, and most important, stop questioning if you're going in the right direction. Because if you have to stop, because normally, think about this metaphorically. You're driving in the car and you know where you want to go, and you were told to go in this direction, but you're questioning it. What do you have to do in order to find out if you're going in the right direction? You have to pull off the side of the road, and you got to find somebody and ask, is this the way that I get to where I want to go? It is. I just keep going this way. I'm going in the right direction. Great. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but guess what? You pulled off the road, you take more time, and it takes you that much longer to get to your journey's end.
Yeah.
Okay? Stop asking and just keep going and assuming you're doing it right. Understand, you lost your job, right? That was to let you know this is not where you're supposed to go. And then you became inspired to do the helping work even more so. That was to let you know the direction. So you're getting your answers. I mean, I'm a great psychic, don't get me wrong, and I don't mind you calling me up and booking sessions with me to find out. But for goodness sakes, take advantage of yourself first. You're much better at helping yourself than I am. So keep going in that direction, okay, kiddo?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I mean, I actually lost my job. I wasn't, like, crying or afraid or anything. And all I could think was, oh, thank God.
It's time. It's time. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks
I
for
was so
calling in.
obstinate. Yeah. Go ahead, hon.
Thanks for calling in, Laura. And just follow your star, honey.
That's
You know who you
right.
are.
That's right. And the immortal words from Field of Dreams.
Hey! Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
Totally is. Made sense.
Totally. Totally, it is. It's perfect.
Thank you, Benny. I love
You're
that.
welcome. Let's run off to another caller. We only have a few minutes left in the show, about 15 minutes. So, Kathy from Seattle, welcome to the show. Hello, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. Thank you.
Hey, Kathy, what's your question for me?
Oh, I was wondering how I was going to make out financially after all this mess is done.
Okay. This mess has nothing to do with your financial issues. It has nothing to do with anybody's financial issues. We manifest everything, okay? And you got to remember that. There is one problem in your life that has been lingering from the very past, and it's the problem of worthiness. Worthiness. I do not feel that the little kid inside of you feels that you're worth abundance, that you're worth not suffering and working hard. You got those messages that it's not supposed to come easy to you, or that you've got to work real hard, and especially you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough to have it easy like everybody else. And believe it or not, there is that part of you that is still holding on to that. So every time I see that abundance wants to come to you, I see that little girl pushing it away because you're saying, oh, that doesn't belong to me, I'm not good enough, go to my neighbor. She deserves it, I don't deserve it. And so recognize that even though consciously the adult you is saying, hey, I should have more finances, my finances should be better with all of this, look at what's happening around me, this is terrible. My finances haven't been going down, they actually been going up because of what's going on. So and it's not because I'm more special than you, it's because I do believe, and I worked 37 years on trying to make myself feel worthy. So I understand where it comes from. It's meant to turn around, okay? By the end of the year, beginning of next year, you should be in a much better place. But if you work on saying to yourself, hey, you know what? And taking that little girl within inside of you and telling her, you really are worth abundance. You really are worth having success in your finances too. So let's create that. Let's make that happen. And don't worry what's happening on the outside. You get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you worthy?
Yes.
Why did it take you so long to say yes? Is there a delay, Benny? I don't know.
I hope not.
No delays. No delays. I am worthy. I am loved. I am lovable. I know that sounds like touchy-feely, emotional woo-woo stuff, but it works. It's what works. We have to believe. So you're going to believe, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. It's going to change for you. I promise you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for calling in, Kathy. Worthy. Yeah, we have problems with that a little bit sometimes.
But don't we receive all those messages that we're not? Yeah, I mean, how many times, even the message, I've never said this to my children, you better eat everything that's on your plate, because you know how many people are in other countries that are suffering and have no food. Do you know what that makes a child feel when they hear that? You know, all those negative messages that we think we're giving them to help them is pulling away their value, pulling away their magnificence, pulling away their abundant beliefs. And so now they have to struggle and work hard, and that's what they think they have to do all their lives instead of changing their beliefs. They change their position when they change their beliefs.
Yeah, I was actually told that as a little girl, and I cried and wanted mom to wrap up my food and send it.
Right. I'm not worthy to eat this. Send it to the kids who don't have any food. Oh my gosh.
That's right. Yep. There it is.
Right. And I bet you right now you send you have kids. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
And every time you have them over for dinner or something like that, don't you send the leftovers home with them?
I do.
Right. That's right. We said
yes,
right.
That's me.
At Thanksgiving, the next day, we go in our refrigerator. Ooh, we're gonna get some leftover stuffing and stuff. And go, no. Where is the stuffing? Oh, I gave it to the kids. What's that? I'm like, why did you give it all to the kids?
Yeah, that's me. There it is. So let's bring someone else on, Benny.
Sure, we'll take Anna, who's calling in from Mercer Island. Hi, Anna. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Anna.
Hi. Thank you.
So what's your question, hon?
I've got a good friend that's like my second mom, and she recently, quite suddenly, developed very painful joints and aching, and her memory is just, it's like it's gone. I mean, it's very, very foggy, and she was quite a sharp woman, and I'm really concerned. I just don't know what's going on. They can't seem to figure it out.
Okay. She has had a dark past, just so that you know. And it was very hurtful for her. And unfortunately, what's happened is, especially with what's going on right now, this is the bad thing. All of the negativity that's been going on in the world is filling up the person's containment case for negative thoughts and feelings and beliefs, and it's causing it to overflow. So all the stuff from her past has come to the surface, and there's, there's angers in there and resentments, as well as self-denigration beliefs and stuff like that. So it's all coming up. So her pains and aches are coming from that unresolved resentment and anger, and her fogginess is because the two highest functions of the brain are keep you alive and to protect you. That's how it keeps you alive. So how does it protect you physically? We know it'll raise your temperature in order to make a virus non-livable environment in your body. So it does that intentionally. What does it do emotionally? It will turn off your memories, your thinking ability, your past. Her past is hurting her because it's come to the surface. The brain is responding and turning it off and making her blurred, kind of dementia kind of stuff is setting in, or Alzheimer's type of thing. One is not necessarily, the pain is not necessarily related to the dementia, but they're both being caused for the same reason. Bad past. A doctor, not until her symptoms become even more exaggerated will they be able to diagnose it, and they will come up with some kind of dementia or stuff like that. But she needs to release and be in touch with that little kid inside of her, that little girl inside of her, so she can release all of that. She still has time for it. That's the only way, talking with her and going deep into her past just to release it will help her. Other than that, there's not a lot you'll be able to do for her until she makes her own decisions to do it for herself. And it's hard because she is foggy, but you can still get there, okay? You can still get into some deep conversations with her. Now is the time to do that. I've got great work on that. God, It's Not Working, and Stop Stopping Yourself and Become Unstoppable from my website. Those are lectures that will help you understand that process more, okay?
Great. Thank you so very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. I wish you the best with it. And how wonderful of a person for you to care and have that much compassion.
Thank you.
You mentioned something there that I think I'm just going to reiterate for the listening audience. You know, you have a website. Hey, who knew? And, you know, because there's a lot of people that are getting overwhelmed with all this negativity, right? The darkness is just, you know, we're full and it's just oozing out. But you said, God, It's Not Working. And what was the other one? Stop stopping
yourself and become unstoppable. That is those two are the foundation of all the work that I do with the 37 years of research that I came to the God, It's Not Working information about the anomalies going on in the brain.
Okay.
And yes, and people get to understand that. Most people don't believe what they think they believe. That's the reason why they're not manifesting what they really can be manifesting for themselves.
Got it. Okay. And so we have another caller. We're just going to take one more caller.
Yeah, I think we have time for one more in the show there, Loretta. We'll take Mary calling in from Linwood. Hi, Mary.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Mary, what's your question for me, hon?
I would just like a general reading from my guides.
Oh, I knew there was going to be somebody asking for that. I will tell you this, which is really funny. As we brought you on, all of a sudden my background picture started flashing. You need to get yourself near water whenever you can, be it the beach, be it a pool. The beach would be really good, or something exotic like this back there. It will calm you down. You need, I don't know if there's fire in you. Certainly Loretta would know that more than me. But you definitely need to be calmed down emotionally because there is some really good information coming in and insight coming in over the next couple of weeks of changes that you need to make in your life right now. So expect big transformations and use this time to grow and heal. Heal from the past, unblock so that you can release, but there's lots of changes going on with you that are meant to go on with you. Take a class. I know that things may have been stopped because of the coronavirus as far as vacations and stuff like that, but weren't you planning some type of trip that it did involve water in some way?
I just bought a house that's on the saltwater, and I'm going to a lake for the weekend. So there's a lot of water in my life.
Well, there you go. Do you understand why with what I just told you? You're going to be drawn to it because it's naturally medicinal for you.
Yes.
Okay, good. So keep that going, and also the lake is fabulous. I'm glad you just bought that home there. That's going to be fabulous for you, but don't eliminate this type of environment either, because between the salt water, between the sand, between the palm trees, between the exoticness of it, it's something that for some reason your soul is wanting to draw you to even more so. So yes, where you are right now, keep thinking even further than that at times, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to be writing and painting. Do you paint at all now?
Oh my gosh, I've been having that desire to learn. No, I don't paint.
Okay, get it going. No, oh my gosh, that's called inspiration. All right, so go for it. Albert Einstein said, tell me what God is thinking, the details I don't need to know. And what he thought the God force was that guidance system. And that every time he had an inspiring thought, he figured he was being told, oh, that's what you're meant to do. So he never questioned it. He just went right at it. And he said, oh, I'll find out what I'm supposed to do with it. That the universe is going to take care of. So you have that inspiration. Oh, I'm going to paint. Never, I want to learn how to paint. I don't know what. I don't even know what I'm going to paint. Don't worry about the details. Go get the media. Go get Michael's is open, the craft store, because it's considered an essential place. Go get your media. Go get your stuff and start painting, because the angels said you're going to paint us.
Okay, awesome.
Beautiful.
Right?
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Okay, thank you very much, Vinny.
Oh, you're very welcome. I wish you the best. And send me one of those paintings. I love them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. You guys have a great day. Thanks.
You too.
Mary. Thanks to all the callers. Wow, we have like, I don't know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes left, or some crazy thing. Vinny, that felt like 10 seconds. 10 seconds. So I'm going to ask you a question from myself. 10-second answer. Do I need to sell my house and move?
You don't need to, but it is part of your desire to. It's time for you to relocate yourself and have all the faith in the world it's going to work out. Seattle has been wonderful and beautiful, but you are definitely at a point of expansion, new excitement for you, and new growth and new experience. So yes, the answer is yes to that, because you already know.
I do. Thank you.
So I want to validate that for you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So tell people where to find you super quick.
Well, VincentGenna.com, and that's with a Genna, and that will guide you to everything else. I have a YouTube channel myself. I'm actually going to be doing a new television show on Zoom called The Back Nine for 55 and older. So be looking out for that. So yeah, go to my website. That's going to give all the information.
All right. Thank you so much. This is Loretta Brown. You can find out more about me at the Loretta Brown Show, the original Loretta Brown Show, because I'm the original, and that's how it is. And Vincent, Genna, I adore you. Thank you so much. And I love little Vinny.
Thank you to Loretta for having me on the show. You are a lighthouse, you are a doll, and you are angelic yourself. Thank you. So appreciate that.
Stay in touch.
We will.
Now. Be good out there, everybody.